powerlessness, feeling powerlessness.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been contemplating about that. And I'm aware of when it's coming up. So I'm contemplating, is that really true? Can I be powerless?
Yeah.
And in that moment, it just brings me back to the stillness, to the silence. Um, but I'm aware that no, I can't be powerless,
Yeah.
yet I'm still experiencing feeling powerless. So there's a part of me that even though I can be aware in the moment, oh, here I am again experiencing this, contemplate, there is a sense of like I'm feeling impatient. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, if I'm aware of this and I've contemplated and it brings me back to the self, why am I continuing to experience it? So
This is a good one, because this is where ego's very sneaky. It says, it's about the same issue here, but it's not, because the emotion now, instead of this powerless feeling, is what did you say? Irritation or frustration or something? Impatience.
impatience.
Sorry, yeah, impatience.
Yeah.
So if impatience had a voice, if it had a story to tell you, what would impatience say? Can you kind of get a sense of the idea behind it that you're now experiencing? What would it want to say in patience?
It goes between not being able to get what I want, I guess, in a way, but also there's a sense of not being good enough too. I don't know.
Yep, and when I looked at this myself, there was a sense that it's not coming fast enough. It's not coming quick enough, what I want, as well as this kind of sense of limitation as well.
Mm-hmm.
And really what I wanted then was not to come out of the powerless in that moment. My desire had shifted once I'd done the contemplation to, I don't ever want to feel that way again, right? That desire is naturally going to arise once you know that that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
And then very quickly that desire will build into, I don't want to ever feel bad again, actually. Don't want to get sucked back into that place, mind. So if you sort of examine the mechanics of the situation, you might find it's about something different now. It's kind of morphed into, okay, well, if I can come out of suffering by asking a question, why can't I stay out of it? Why can't I? It's a more subtle pattern that's playing, isn't it, here? Why do I have to keep going back in and out? And I want to stay out of it completely in the peace, not being sucked into mind, and that's coming, but not fast enough, or it's coming too intermittently or something like that. Underneath this impatience is that kind of idea, isn't it? A belief, very subtle way of believing ourselves to be someone moving through time and space still, getting towards some end point where I'm finally free, but free of mind. But in this moment, I'm either free of mind or I'm believing some thought. That's it. That's all we've got is this moment. This impatience is a kind of trying to get somewhere still, isn't it? Just a very subtle seekingness. Right. It's morphed into something that's kind of hiding behind this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where do you need to get to? Are you a being coming out of identification with the mind? Or if we check in right now with what we really are, have you ever been affected by thoughts, by time, by progress? Just kind of checking that out. What is it that I think I need to get to? It's just where we've gone back into very subtly, sneaky little ways now, where we're identifying with a being, as a being moving through time and space towards some goal. But in reality, we're either living free in this moment or we're caught up in a thought. That's all we can ever control, isn't it, right now? And that gives us a sense of freedom in that. As long as I'm believing very, very subtly, of course, you might not feel that you are trying to get towards awakening anymore or desperately seeking peace anymore. We might be very subtly believing that it's going to take a little while longer to finally come out of all these patterns. It's going to take me some time, and I'll get better at doing it as I go along. I got stuck in this one for a good year or so, and it drove me nuts until I realized what was going on. Very sneaky, but
yes, absolutely.
But you are always free, have always been free, have never been caught. That's the silence isn't, the awareness isn't coming out of identification with the body. It's really attention that's doing that, isn't it? Not you.
So the next thought I have then is, okay, so I might have this experience again, but I can see it as, maybe I can see it in a different way. Is that still being caught in
Nope,
ego?
because let's say the feeling of powerlessness comes back again next time. And then the frustration or the impatience comes up. Oh, not this again. When am I going to be free of this? And you can just look at that and go, that's nothing to do with me. I've got no more work to do. I'm already free and have been. And my work is just to remember that. So you kind of go, I'm not going to play with that. I know what happens when I play with it, because you're either free right now living as that, or you're in time and space and affected by it all and going through a journey, and there's nothing in the middle now for you. So this thing pops up. You're powerless over this thing. You've seen it's not true, but it keeps coming back to see if you're going to play with time and space again, and try to get somewhere again, which of course we all do for a little while because it's just familiar. Even though it's yucky, it's familiar, isn't it?
Yeah, that's perfect, because that's exactly what's happening. So yeah, I love that. Thank you.
And the contemplation, all of that is to bring you to that point where you see this was never my issue. This was never my pattern. I don't have any patterns, actually. I am as I always was. So but ego spins out ever finer, more subtle things. It's fishing now, isn't it? Oh, please play with me. Yeah. Please don't go and leave me. So
yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Lovely. Good to talk to you.